AI is coming. And so you need to hide your kids, hide your wife, because they're deepfaking everybody out. They're deepfaking everyone. That's exactly what the main resource to fund AI will become. You think it's data centers? Why do you think they're putting all those data centers up? Do you think that you're going to be like, ChatGPT, tell me about the political alliance between Russia and Yugoslavia? Bink, not going to happen. That's not going to happen, guys. What they're going to do is going to be fueled by adult entertainment. And let me explain. I can explain. It's happened again and again and again throughout human history. All right, you ready to take some notes? The internet. The internet initially was created for the government in order to execute upon war and to put out war plans that were undetectable on the deep web. However, that soon became known to the public and we had access to the internet. And what did we do with it? Did we watch cat videos? Certainly some people watch cat videos. I can't lie about that. Some people are dumb as fuck. But the majority of people used it for corn. Plentiful corn. That's what they did. They liked this corn. They liked that corn. Adult entertainment. That's what they did, guys. That's exactly what they did. And that's what's going to happen again. Look at the rise of the internet. The internet, I think, still is 86% corn. That's all it is. It's AI slop corn now. That's what it's becoming. It used to be people that were actors. They conducted themselves in a very positive way. And they're like, all right, Tony, now time to bring in the extras because I'm going to get gung-bunged. And that was socially acceptable, sure. It became socially acceptable probably like in the 70s or 80s. And then from then on out, we have OnlyFans and etc. But we can get into that. That's what it was. The internet is fueled by adult entertainment. Do you want to know the second most searched thing on the internet as far as a website goes? First is google.com, and Google doesn't even count because Google's already your home browser page the second you open most new cellular devices, which is where most people watch their entertainment. People are kind of starting to get back to watching television, but most of the time, anytime you watch anything that's not a Netflix series or a brand new movie, you're going to watch it on that little device in your pocket. And so that right there doesn't count as being the number one URL that is most commonly used. Google. But what's the second one? It is PO_hub.com. That's what it is. That has more traffic each and every single day than almost anything else. That's all that us little slightly hairless monkeys on this big blue rock with a little bit of greenery on it use the internet for. And that's going to be a massive, massive problem because it is going to not only take away a lot of jobs, but it's going to take away your anonymity and take away your privacy. Let me explain. So, going way, way back, right? Going way, way back. I remember when Joe Rogan talked about this on one of his earliest Joe Rogan Experience episodes where he said he just moved into Pasadena, I believe, on the outskirts of Los Angeles. Maybe it was the Palisades. And he lived right next to a big shot movie director. And he was not a movie director like directing critically acclaimed movies that will go on to win awards. No. He was in the adult film industry, and he was balling out of control. Absolutely balling. And then one day, he had a for sale sign at his house, in his lawn. And Joe Rogan asked him, what happened? And he said, people aren't buying DVDs anymore. Oh no. Oh no. All my money, all my ones, my stripper ones are gone. Because people no longer bought DVDs. Go even further back. Now, Blockbuster is not guilty of this because Blockbuster was the one company that said we are not going to entertain this adult filth. And they lost a lot of money from it. But I remember personally where I lived, we had a Family Video. And we all remember going into Family Video, especially when we were younger. And we would see those beads, right, that would block off the back of Family Video, which was a place where you could rent temporarily DVDs and even VHSs back in the day. That was kind of like a big tape, kind of like a cassette tape that you would put in a VHS machine, and then you could watch movies. It was kind of cool. You could rent movies. It was cool. For those of you that don't know, that's what that is. Anyways, you would walk right in and you would see these beads, and you'd be like, what is beyond those beads? Is it a magical place? Well, yes. Yeah, children, it was actually a magical place. It was filled with snuff films, and that, believe it or not, made up 45 to 55% of all monthly revenue for these local mom and pop DVD VHS rental stores like Family Video. That was their bread and their butter, their cream, if you will, that supplied all of their money for every single month out of the year. Then suddenly, with the internet and the propagation of free films, that was gone. And then they no longer had that. And what happened? They went out of business. Poof, out of business. No more Family Dollar, and even no more Blockbuster. They held in there for a little bit, but no more Blockbuster. It's all dead and gone. And we think that it was from Netflix, but really it wasn't for Netflix. It was because people didn't want to go in and get their pornography and risk seeing their Spanish teacher or seeing the person that does their taxes or seeing their pastor from their church as they're trying to get their snuff films. They just want to do it in the privacy of their own home. So now we flash forward to 2026, or even a little bit further back, a couple of years ago, throughout COVID, when people had to pay their bills, and la-di-da-di-da, what arrived? OnlyFans. OnlyFans arrived, and it was bringing the extravagance and the limelight of adult entertainment into every girl's headlight, per se. I was trying to think of a right analogy there. Usually I'm like a fucking thesaurus, but sometimes I just can't think sharply. I am dumb as rocks, kids. Dumb as rocks. Anyways, OnlyFans became a big deal, and a lot of people made money from OnlyFans, and they still make money. You could see all of these little chicks, and I hate to call them that, but compared to me, I guess they are kind of young, unfortunately, and you see them online, and they're like, wow, they made $26 million last year because they funneled everyone from their social media onto their OnlyFans. They're balling out of control. They have Rolls Royces and Hermes bags, Birkin bags. They are balling. Red bottom shoes. They're going crazy. They're buying everyone a house. Their mom gets a house. Their French Bulldog gets a house. They're killing it in the game. That, my friends, is going to end, and it's going to end abruptly from AI. AI is going to be fueled by this type of adult entertainment, and it's going to happen in a very scary way that's going to invade everyone's privacy. Back in the day, when I was growing up, if you wanted to fantasize about someone, you had to use your imagination. Nowadays, that is going to be a thing of the past. It's scary, but with these meta glasses that people are now buying, right now they're $300, but in the future they'll be even cheaper. And to be honest with you, $300 is not a high dollar amount for something as crazy as glasses connected to the internet. And what they're going to do with them is start creating deepfakes of everyone that is surrounding them. Anyone they want to see doing anything they want them to be seen doing is going to begin to occur. They're going to be recording 24/7. Imagine someone going past someone in the grocery store, and she is just fine as can be, but she has a big, buff husband right next to her. That kid with those glasses is going to go home that night, and he is going to replay on his glasses the photographs of that girl, and then he's going to tell AI to be able to depict her in ways that the devil himself will have to close his eyes because of fear of seeing what monstrosities that kid is going to use AI in order to make that girl be doing whatever it is that he wants her to be doing. It's going to be making nudes of people that never put nudes out on the internet. Mother Teresa herself is going to be starring in a snuff film. And that's a very scary thing because it goes back to our privacy and to our rights as Americans. Sure, you could use your imagination, but this is a totally different thing. And we all know that just like the seatbelt law a long time ago when people first started driving cars, it takes a long time to implement laws and regulations in order to protect people's civil liberties. And so this is going to be the wild, wild west. And honestly, there's nothing we can do about it. So ladies in particular, it's going to be a very, very scary thing to know that everyone with their glasses can take a snapshot of you and then put a deep fake onto the internet of you doing something that you never actually did. And it's happening all over. I seen last month in Wisconsin, there was a girl, actually is a teenage girl, which technically is super illegal, but her friends, I don't know why they did this to her, but her friends stopped being friends with her or something and then leaked a nude of this poor innocent girl online, and it ruined her life. It ruined her reputation, and it was AI. It wasn't even real. It wasn't even real. And that leads us into a bigger problem, guys, because we all know that there are freaking pedos out there and who knows what. And my God, I don't have a son or especially a daughter yet, but I swear to God that if I see someone with meta glasses looking at my daughter, I'm going to immediately be slightly concerned, because we all know that there are creeps out there that do very, very terrible things and belong in fucking jail. Honestly, they belong below the jail, about 6 feet below. But that's the reality of what AI is going to bring. It's not going to be used to cure cancer. It's not going to be used to cure cancer because they make a lot of money off that shit. And trust me, I studied to become a doctor. I know exactly what they make. I know people that work for Pfizer and Big Pharma. Why would they cure something that they make money off of by charging you monthly fees in order to perform something on you that doesn't actually work? And you have to recurringly pay them each and every single month in order to fight for your life. That's a whole nother story, and that's a whole nother video. But they are not going to use AI. And being they is like even the people we look up to in society. We're like, someone has to fix this. The smartest of us all. Well, folks, AI is going to be used for this exact same thing, just like the internet was used for. It's just human nature. The difference is that now your civil liberties and your privacy is going to be totally invaded. There's going to be deepfakes of everyone doing every single thing under the sun and things that should never be seen, involving maybe horses or cucumbers. I have no idea. But it's going to be terrible. It's going to be horrible. And there's nothing we can do about it because we're not passing legislation. I seen online there was this website called Mr. Deepfake, and I watched this. I think it was like an MSNBC investigation where this guy was taking images of celebrities and putting them into corn videos, and found out that this guy was actually from Canada, and he was a pharmacist, and he was secretively operating this website where they were paid in order to make these sort of videos. And trust me, at the time it was just people like Taylor Swift and probably Megan Fox, I forget who else, even Billie Eilish. But now it's starting to get to the point to where AI is getting so good and so accessible to the masses that this can happen to absolutely anyone. It's going to happen to teachers. It's going to happen to police officers. It's going to happen to your wife. It may even happen to your kids. It's a very scary thing. I don't know how to fix this thing. All I know is that I am Paul Revere of something that I shouldn't be speaking about on YouTube because it's going to get demonetized and I'm not going to get any publicity for exposing this whatsoever. But this is just the way the world works. And you can't stop people from doing unscrupulous things. It can't be done. You would be plugging up individual holes within a giant cork, meaning that you can't plug all the holes necessary in order to stop this problem. And so we're just going to have to get used to being completely vulnerable and exposed. And furthermore, we're not going to be able to believe anything that we see with our human eyeballs anymore. You know, my girlfriend showed me the other day a video of a baby getting a facial. Now, I know that it seems bad saying the word facial when talking about this, but she is an esthetician. And so she was getting... there was a baby getting a facial, and I was like, that is fucking AI. That's AI. Duh. But she believed it. She was like, that's real. Look at this chimpanzee eating a banana and doing the Macarena. It's real. Babe, that's AI. That's AI. It's not real. It's not real. Look at this walrus hugging a lion. It's not real. Turn it off. But the sad truth of the matter is people don't care if it's real or not. And so here's the thing. When it comes to adult entertainment, do people care if it's real? Because if you think about it, the adult film industry isn't real anyways. They have a director there, probably like a porno type weird creep director with probably, I don't know, he's going bald up here, but he has a really long mullet. Probably has glasses similar to these, funny enough. And he's yelling action and then cut, and then the people aren't really enjoying it. They're faking every second of it because it's a job. And it's probably like throwing a hot dog down a hallway anyways, because that station is being used more than a train station in Beijing, China, the New York subway, and probably slightly more dirty than the New York subway. So they're not actually enjoying it. It's all money. It's all fake. It's all showbiz. But do people care? No. Some people might care, but the majority of people don't care. They just want to see their film and they want to get off because it's human nature. But my concern is that in the future, you're going to be able to blackmail people to the point to where you cannot pay attention to anything with your eyes, because every single thing you look at, you're going to look at with skepticism, and you're going to think to yourself, this is probably not real. And furthermore, when real things do happen, then what is going to prevent you from just dismissing it because you're used to seeing things every single day that aren't true? And then when something actually happens, you don't take it as serious because it's the boy who cried wolf. You know, that's what it comes down to. Now, there are whole other ramifications to this AI debacle that we could discuss as far as blackmail. I've seen videos online, documentaries in particular, where they have, and it's always old people, guys, because old people are vulnerable and they don't know what the fuck is going on here. Like if you show like an AI video to your grandmother, she might think it's actually real. She'll be like, oh my God, I did not know that dolphins could talk. It's like, Grandma, that's not real. That's not real. I did not know that squirrels could juggle. Oh my God, they must be from China. Those sweet little Chinamen have taught squirrels how to juggle nuts. That's so fascinating. Grandma, that's not real. Turn it off. But old people are being manipulated through this, and they're being blackmailed. And not only that, but they're also being deceived by videos. Not just, it's no longer just calls, it's videos of, let's say, their grandchildren or something saying, help me, I need money sent to me right away. I'm in Thailand or something, and I've been held captive and I need money. These Somalian pirates have stolen me away from the family that I know and love, and I need you to send them $20 million. And they're like, oh my God, not my granddaughter Jenny. Let me go to the bank. Oh, it has to be in Visa gift cards and Bitcoin transactions. Oh my gosh, let me go get my purse. I gotta go. It's going to upset our world in ways that we don't know, and your privacy is going to be gone, and so you can't believe anything and everything you see online. Furthermore, OnlyFans is over. OnlyFans is gone, guys. It's over. So if you're a girl that la-di-da-di-da gets her nails done and then makes a couple snuff films to post on OnlyFans, and it's, hey guys, come check this out, that's over, guys. You're going to have to go back to being a waitress, sweetheart. You're going to have to go back to, I don't know, whatever it is you did. You have to do nails. You have to do something. Even kicking it old school with prostitution or something. But you're going to have to switch your ways up, because that is no longer going to be a viable source of income for you. And it's scary. It's scary. Now, what can we do about this? The sad truth of the matter is there's nothing we can do. In fact, Grok, I read something on Grok to where just a couple months ago, they implemented this thing that would stop from people putting photographs into Grok. Now, that's Elon Musk's competitor to ChatGPT. They would put a photo in it and say, make this person nude. And they would do it. It wouldn't even ask twice. They would automatically do it. And it looked so real that you couldn't distinguish it from a genuine, authentic photograph or image. And it's scary. So I don't know what you can do. In the future, there are ways to offset it. I've seen people wear like dorky clothing that kind of looks like a, I don't know, it kind of looks like a fun house, like where you go into the house of mirrors and it is supposed to deflect all video. But guys, we're not going to dress up like a retard just to go to the grocery store. We're not going to do that and wear that shit when we're pumping gas or out at a nightclub. That's not going to be. Now, the other thing we could do maybe is wear a beekeeper suit like they do in the Middle East. Maybe they were onto something. But hey, I mean, then the world is really up to your imagination because you don't even know what that chick looks like. So, the second they take that burqa off, then anything could be like there's no telling what that person looks like. You know, they could get off to anything. They don't care. So there is no way of fixing this. There is no way to fix this hole we have. We're just going to have to get used to it. So from here on out, if you see anything that seems off-putting about someone, don't trust your eyeballs. Do your own due diligent facts and search for the truth before you just automatically assume that someone said or did something that they didn't say or do. You're no longer going to be able to believe your eyeballs, folks. And those OnlyFans girls are absolutely screwed. So it was fun while it lasted. That's the beautiful thing about America, guys, is capitalism. Because you can say, you know what? I don't want to work so hard. Let me just post myself on the internet. And technically, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that opened the doors for a lot of people to generate a lot of money. If a bunch of retard, Neanderthal, incel kids want to pay to see some chick naked when you can see anything on the internet that you'd want to see anyways, if they want to see someone in particular and want to simp up next to them, then hey, give them $30 a month. Make your money. Make your money, bitch. But now that is all going to end. And so if you do OnlyFans, I highly suggest that you start applying to work at Applebee's or whatever, Kmart, do something because times are a changing. And this AI thing is not going to be able to be put back in the box once it is out. Once it is out forever. And people will create different ways to bypass certain safety features and systems the same way they did when we first got our iPhones back in the day. And we're like, we want free music. We don't want to have to pay for that. Let me jailbreak it. Bink, jailbroken, anything I want for free, any games, any apps. That's what it's going to be, except for it's going to be that way for AI. And so if you think that your images are safe, and guys, for all of you posting images on Facebook, don't do that. I know that I put myself out here online, but I don't care. If you care whatsoever and you have a family and you have a very important business job and you have to look like you are the bee's knees online in a very squeaky clean sort of way, then I highly suggest that you take everything off of Facebook, you take everything off of Instagram, but the majority of people aren't going to do that. And so expect for the future to hit you like a ton of bricks and don't trust your eyes. That's all I have to say, guys. It's crazy. It's something that I know is a bit taboo, but no one else is talking about it. And so I figured, hey, why doesn't Kyler himself speak about something that is so outlandish and unspeakable? That is where I come in on YouTube. That's what I plan on doing, is saying things that no one else is willing to say. No matter if it's true or not, everyone else is so scared with their freaking tail tucked in between their legs like a little bitch. And I guess I have to be the one to say it. And so with that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe to me. My God, I'm out here making videos every single day. And on top of that, I don't make money from this. I literally work 60 hours a week. But this is my passion. This is what I enjoy doing. Not talking about adult entertainment per se, but just speaking to you guys on here in a real and in a direct way, a genuine way, a way that you don't have to worry about it being manipulated or having served some bigger self-interest of mine or I'm being paid by someone. None of that is occurring. I'm speaking to you because this is something that was on my mind and I'm not filtering it whatsoever, besides maybe replacing a P with a C, and that's due to the algorithm, which we'll see if this gets any sort of traction whatsoever, and it probably won't. But with that being said, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.